so we're going to talk through the Guitar 2 parts for Love Come Down. And Guitar 2 is an acoustic. This is a rare song for us in that we're going to be using 2 acoustics to play this song. And that's because the original has a driving acoustic, and then it also has, I'm pretty sure, both a mandolin or a ukulele and also a banjo. In order to kind of replicate those like higher instruments, because obviously we're not going to send a ukulele or a banjo on the road with you for one single song and hope that somebody can play it, we're just going to use an acoustic to replicate that. And to get that high kind of tinny plinky sound that you'd hear on the uke or the banjo, we're going to grab the capo and put it on fret 9. This is a lot higher than you're probably used to capoing, and that's fine. You'll get used to it. It just makes for kind of a more smashed chord shape, because down here the frets are really nice and big and you have lots of space, and up here they're a little bit smaller. It might take just a couple minutes of practice, but it's not going to be a hard adjustment once you kind of get the hang of it. So you're going to be playing all just open first position shapes like you know. It's just going to be up on the 9th fret. So your C is a normal C. This is 3, 2, open, first, 0, just like that. F, the little bar on 1, and 2 and 3, just like that. G, which I'm sure you're used to, 3 and 3, 3 up here and 2 right here, that, and A minor. So open, 2, 2, 1, open, just like that. These are all shapes that you know. I know you know these already. So it's going to be really simple. You're going to voice the chords like that the entire time, and the whole time through you're going to have the same strum pattern. And that is kind of this driving strum pattern with an emphasis on 2, so on beat 2. So, and that's if you're subdividing. This is the chorus, and this is kind of what that sounds like. And my right hand was a little bit sloppy there, but you really want to focus on the upper strings and not the lower strings of what you're playing. So most of the time you're going to be, well, I shouldn't say most of the time, in the choruses and the turns, in the high energy parts of the song, you're going to be strumming those chords like you just saw. In the lower energy parts of the songs, in the verses, you're actually going to be finger picking them. You can use your pick if you want, but I know I personally can't pick that fast, so I'll use my fingers. And if you want to start with your fingers and then work your way up to a pick, that's great. If you're more comfortable with a pick, that's even better, because that will create kind of a cleaner, more defined sound for your sound tech to kind of bring you in through the mix. And that's really great. I personally can't pick this that fast, and I probably never will be able to without hours of practice with a metronome. If you've never done finger picking, again, this is something that might take a little bit of practice, but it's not hard, and the best way to practice a new skill is just to take a metronome and bring it down to a real slow speed where you can very easily play it, and then just slowly bring your speed up. As soon as you have the part really down, like really perfectly cleanly at a lower speed, then you can bump your metronome up slightly. I know practicing with metronome sounds boring and brings to mind just grumpy piano teachers for everybody, I'm sure, but it's really the best way to practice, and I swear by it, so I recommend it highly if this is something new for you. When you're finger picking in the verse, you know, that strum pattern had that emphasis on 2. You're going to want to hit your high E string, whatever note that's going to be in the voiced chord. You want to hit that high E string on 2. So the verse will sound something like this, and I'll slow it down just a little bit. Like that. So what I am doing, I am alternating. Sorry, I had to do it to think about it and figure out what the heck I'm doing. I have my thumb here on the bass note of whatever chord, and it just kind of keeps that quarter note pulse or whatever that is. And then I alternate that pulse with either my second or my third finger, depending on what beat it is. So on the and of 1, 3, and 4, I will alternate it with my second finger on a lower note, something like that. And then on 2, because I told you that there's that strong emphasis on 2, that's when I bring in my third finger for that high note. So it's... Sorry, I'm having camera issues here. Let me make sure that you can see kind of what I'm doing with my right hand. So, again, one more time through the verse, really slowly. There we go. So there's really only one other thing that you're really going to have to kind of listen and pay attention to, and that is the breakdown chorus. This is in the recording kind of a banjo feature. And we can do it a couple different ways, because obviously we're not a banjo, you're not going to get exactly the same sound, but we can give that section, we can fill that role at least, we can give that section the same kind of character that it would have. And you can do this a couple ways. So one is everyone else is going to drop out and it's just going to be you. So you might just choose to keep strumming those chords like you've been doing the entire time. I wrote on the guitar notes low finger picking, but just the way those chords are voiced, I don't think you're really going to get a lot of resonance on low finger picking, and you're not going to move the capo just for that one section. So you can continue the higher finger picking that you've been doing, but with the chorus chords instead of the verse chords. Which could sound really cool. I don't know if it's going to have enough enough energy to carry the song at that point. I would start there and then adapt from there if it just doesn't have enough energy to carry it. So you can choose to finger pick like that. If that doesn't work in full band, if you try it out and the song, that part just doesn't have enough to carry it, you can try either strumming it or just playing the changes. Just strumming on where the chord changes instead of the full strum pattern. So play around with that a little bit in full band rehearsal when you first put the song together, and talk to your music trainer and see if she's got any preferences or any suggestions for what we might want to do there. But I would say if you're just kind of experimenting, which is totally fine to do in the first put together, try the finger picking first. And if that kind of falls flat, try the changes, and if that falls flat, you can try just strumming as you've been doing for every other chorus. So kind of, try those things and just see what sounds the best in full band context, and then you and your music trainer and your sound tech can all kind of talk about what that sounds like out in the house and figure out what's going to work best for you.